Hello, everybody.
Hello from Russia, Arnold. Thank you for your very kind words about Russia and Russian people. It's a shame that there was more kindness than truth in your words. Russian World Powerlifting champion Tatiana Naumova has already reacted to your speech and reminded you that a while ago she was asking you to help children from Donbas and Ukraine. Those children were suffering from the war, tearing them and their country apart. However, you did nothing, and you kindly ignored them. You didn't even call on the parties to stop the conflict that has been happening there for 8 years. I'd like to address American people and draw their attention to extremely important things regarding the military conflict in Ukraine. No propaganda, no InfoWars stuff, only the facts. The facts that they try to distract us from. I'm not going to show you any Russian news media or any Russian political experts. They may lie too. First of all, let's talk about Ukrainian Nazis. Nazism is not about special badges or uniform. Nazism is a special, dangerous attitude to other people that manifests itself in hatred and malevolence. Such people live in many countries, but there are few countries where they have absolute power. Here goes the former Ukrainian president Petro Poroshenko that says that the actual target of the military operation is not pro-Russian politics, but small children.
Тому що у нас робота буде, у них немає. У нас пенсії будуть, у них немає. У нас піклування під дітей, під людей, під пенсіонерів, під дітей буде, у них немає. У нас діти підуть до школи, до дитячих садків, у них вони будуть сидіти в підвалах, бо вони нічого не вміють робити. І так, і саме так ми виграємо цю війну.
Is it fake? Not in the least. It's true. But what did all those Hollywood stars and Western politicians do for these children? Did they provide any humanitarian aid to the war zone? No, they did nothing of the sort. And I'm not trying to say that Putin is a good guy. He could actually help those kids, but he wouldn't lift a finger. Yes, I am a Russian oppositionist that is seldom, if ever, happy with what Putin does. All right, next one.
Ми готові знищувати русню, де тільки можна. Але я переконаний, що бити русню треба не тільки в Україні, а за її межами, на території Росії.
He is the official representative of Ukraine that actually called on Ukrainian people to kill Russians wherever possible, even in Russia. And it's not even a new video. It was recorded many years ago. I'd like to stress the fact that people are encouraged to hate all Russians, not only Putin and his friends and soldiers.
Як Збройні сили України не можуть нищити російських дітей, тому що це заборонено правилами війни, і це заборонено різними конвенціями, в тому числі Женевськими. Але я не зі Збройних сил України. І коли мені випаде нагода розправитися з росіянами, я обов'язково це зроблю. Я дотримуюсь, раз ви вже називаєте нацистами, дотримуюсь доктрини Адольфа Ейхмана і зроблю все, що від мене залежить, для того, щоб ні ви, ні ваші діти ніколи не жили на цій землі.
This is the central television of Ukraine. Do you think that after such a Nazi-style calling on people to kill all the Russians, especially Russian children, do you think this man was arrested? Nothing of the kind. He wasn't even fired. he's still hosting his TV program. It's a common thing in Ukraine. Please have a look at this interesting Daily Mail article. Daily Mail, Mail Online. Ukrainian doctor tells TV interviewer he has ordered his staff to castrate Russian soldiers because they are cockroaches.
Я своим врачам дал указание, всегда я был большим гуманистом и говорил, что как только человек пораненный, он уже не враг, а пациент. Но теперь очень жесткое указание всем мужчинам кастрировать, потому что это тараканы, а не люди. И поверьте, все врачи, которые всю жизнь спасали пациентов, русские тут будут умирать в большом количестве. Те, кто уйдет, будут вспоминать кошмар украинской земли, как немцы вспоминали Сталинград.
Isn't it Nazism? Is it normal? The famous British media didn't even say a word against this very statement. Nothing surprised them. Nothing shocked them. Is it normal to castrate Russian people? I'd like to address our Muslim brothers, the ones living in Western countries. I urge you to say something against Nazism. Muslims and Christians are living peacefully in Russia. Muslim people from Caucasus region are taking part in this conflict on the side of Russia. Do you know what Ukrainian officials said? That's shocking news. Kadyrovцы in Ukraine, the part of Russian army. In the Dnieper, they figured out how they will bury the dead. Lysenko published his proposal on his Telegram channel The Broken Harmonica of Kostroma. Officially, the decision has been made. All Kadyrovets killed on the territory of the Dnepropetrovsk region will be sewed up and buried in pig skins. Thank you, the city's meat processing plants. Let's see how they are received. They in heaven, creatures, wrote the deputy. Of course, I can give you more facts, but YouTube will block the video. What's your take on this, dear American people and Hollywood celebrities? Hatred towards children and everything Russian, tortures and castrations. Is it okay with you? Do you still think that Black Lives Matter? Here is one more video where African students are being kept hostages by the Ukrainian authorities.
Can you share your experiences? Yeah. Can you share your experiences? Okay. Let them know.
See, we have nothing to do with this war. We have nothing at all to do with this war. Early this morning, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., we were woken up with how many bombs? 6. It was 6. I counted each and every one of them. 6. Next thing, we want to go home. And they are telling us, first of all, they increase the price of taxi. Who pays almost 2 million naira to go back to Poltava, a 2-hour journey? Anybody that is hearing this, from Kaduna to Abuja, 2 hours, you are telling me to pay 1 million naira.
The crucially important fact is that people with such a creed are not just living in Ukraine. They are the country leaders, officials and journalists. The second thing to point out is the role that the Western world is playing in the conflict. It's not only Russia and Ukraine, but the European Union, Britain and the United States. 8 years ago, when the Maidan Revolution, the Color Revolution, happened, Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs, Victoria Nuland, took active part in it. Then the expert of Russia and Ukraine, Nuland, thought that the United States invested $5 billion in that revolution.
All of which are preconditions for Ukraine to achieve its European aspirations. We've invested over $5 billion to assist Ukraine in these and other goals that will ensure a secure and prosperous and democratic Ukraine.
Ukrainian authorities didn't actually work for the people of Ukraine. They just obeyed their Western masters. President Biden came to Ukraine and fired government officials in person, officials of other country, of other government.
I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
The states orchestrated Maidan revolution, brought radicals to power, and started supervising them. Several years ago, a huge amount of NATO weapons was imported into Ukraine. Why? Officially, it was just defense weapons to protect Ukraine from Russia. But now the Ukrainian army is actively using offensive weapons instead of defensive ones. How could that kind of weapons get there? The United States and the UK governments were deceiving their voters. And here, for example, Italian airport workers stop arms shipment to Ukraine under guise of humanitarian aid. In Italy, workers discovered that weapons were being shipped to Ukraine under the pretense of sending humanitarian aid and have refused to hand them over. The example should serve as a model for all workers on how to take action against the war. And what about all those US secret biolaboratories? Only now this information ceased to be a conspiracy theory.
I only have a minute left. Let me ask you, does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
And it was Nuland again. She admitted the fact that there are biolaboratories in Ukraine. But not only in Ukraine. Here is the map. The United States set up lots of such laboratories surrounding Russia. They have ones even in Central Africa. But what for? And the most important question, why is Nuland so afraid of Russians getting their hands on that important, all of it, all the evidence? Activists even found out that United States Embassy just removed all their Ukraine bioweapon lab documents from the websites. It's an interesting question. Why? What is so dangerous about those research projects? Or maybe those research projects have something to do with the military. Moreover, we are very much concerned not only about the biological weapons, but the nuclear ones. President Zelensky openly stated that he was ready to withdraw from the treaty.
Я ініціюю проведення консультацій у рамках Будапештського меморандуму. Скликати їх доручено міністру закордонних справ. Якщо вони знову не відбудуться, або за їх результатами не буде гарантій безпеки для нашої держави, Україна матиме повне право вважати, що Будапештський меморандум не працює, і усі пакетні рішення 94-го року були поставлені під сумнів.
President Zelensky speaks about Budapest Memorandum of Security Assurances. The memorandum, as a result of other agreements and the memorandum between 93 and 96, Belarus, Kazakhstan and Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapons. To withdraw from this treaty means getting the nuclear bomb. The nuclear bomb in the hands of those who are ready and willing to kill children. Doesn't it scare you? Are you okay with it? The third important thing to point out is packs of lies and propaganda. I am a Russian oppositionist. My name is Pavel Ivanov. Hello. And I do know that my government can lie very well. I understand this fact and try to learn to see the difference between the lies and the truth. The time is ripe for you to realize that you are being lied to. Even Arnold says that Russians know nothing at the very beginning of his video.
I know that the Russian people are not aware of such things are happening. So I urge the Russian people and the Russian soldiers in Ukraine to understand the propaganda and the disinformation that you're being told.
And then he's talking about those anti-war marches. Why would people go on such marches if they knew nothing about the situation?
Let me close with a message to all of the Russians who have been protesting on the streets against the invasion of Ukraine.
How can it be possible? Don't you find it ridiculous? When the info war is happening, we don't need lies. We need the truth.
I don't buy it for a second, Ed, I'll be honest with you. I really think that there's so much misinformation. We've never really seen anything like it. I mean, I've been covering wars now for 35 years, and I have never seen people with their nails done in the Ukrainian flag, right? I mean, we're being corralled into this box where we either have to hate Vladimir Putin and believe everything evil that's said about him and love Ukraine, and there's no in between.
Okay. Have a look at this document. This is the official order to set up firing positions in schools, hospitals, and universities of Odessa. Ukrainian people will shoot from these buildings, officially. But when Russians start to fire back, they will be accused of shooting at civilians. But this is a lie. Here is a famous video of Mariupol maternity hospital. Watch closely. This is the same exact woman, but in a different set of clothes. She was told to dress this way for the photo shoot. This is called fake news. And there's lots of it. Everything I mentioned doesn't mean that Putin is a good guy. Any military operation is a tragedy. It means deaths. It means pain and suffering of my people, of my friends and relatives. Many mistakes were made on all sides. It's crimes and criminal indifference of many countries, governments including the US, the UK and Germany. It's impossible to move forward without admitting and correcting these mistakes. Big boys are making money, making careers and getting power. Simple people, civilians, lose their homes, lives. Or see gas prices soar. this world will never be the same. Today we need to look ahead and ask our governments honest questions. Questions regarding biological and nuclear weapons, trading with criminal regimes, military built-up, lies and fake news, orchestrating color revolutions in other countries, where the wars begin all of a sudden, and certain people get filthy rich. Take care of yourselves and seek the truth. Share and discuss this video with your friends. Thank you.